Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Okay, y'all can hear me. I already can tell y'all can hear me. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are doing well. Listen, we are here to have a conversation, in the words of Larry Reed. Honey, we're here to have a conversation. I was tired last night. Okay, I was tired last night. I was beat up last night. So today we are going to get into it this morning. Now, before we get into everything, please make sure you guys hit that like button, push us up in the algorithm. This is a lot of people don't know about this show, and so push it on up in the algorithm so that people are aware of what's going on. Okay. All right. So we're here to talk about Todd Dulaney. Okay. Todd Dulaney has some things to say regarding the Stellar Awards. And then we are also here to discuss last night's conversation with Larry Reed being the host of the cast of Love and Faith Atlanta, which is like a Preachers of Atlanta spinoff that Dr. Harley Carter is doing over there on Merge TV. So we're going to get into it. I know that there are probably going to be some times you may disagree with me, and it is okay. Okay. But I feel like this morning I'm better at articulating my thoughts than yesterday because again I was tired. So let me speak to y'all, and then we're gonna get into the things of the things of the things, okay? And we're actually gonna start with Todd Dulaney, considering that the conversation that we're gonna have is gonna be broader and more to it. All right, so let me speak. Good morning, Faith. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Mama Bees. I hope you doing all right. Kashori's Kitchen, good morning, good morning, good morning. Mocha Drop, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you doing all right. Sweet Vern, good morning to you. Lillian, good morning to you as well. Sean, good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me share this to my community wall. While I'm in the process of doing this. Good morning, baby peaches. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How you doing? How you doing? Sean, again, good morning, good morning. Miss Adrian, good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's see who else we got up in here. Miss Felicia, good morning, good morning, good morning. What's up, little baby? What it do, what it do, what it do? Good morning, Miss Yvette Bell. Good morning, good morning. Color Cool, good morning, good morning, good morning. How you doing? How you doing? Bama girl, good morning to you. Yes, shout out to you. I did see that you bought 2 more oils yesterday. And I'm gonna tell you, we got 1 more bundle of the triple oil left and 2 more of the doubles left. Once we make them 3 sales, we sold out. We sold out. I am sold out. My mind is made up. Yeah, no room, no vacancy. I'm all filled up. We sold out. So we about to be sold out. I'm here for it. Good morning, sweet Jane. Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right. So let me go ahead and get this thing crack-a-lecking and crack-a-lecking. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into Todd Dulaney, child, because he has some things to say about the Stellar Awards. Okay. All right. So this is what Todd Dulaney had to say. Okay. And in case if y'all don't know over there on Facebook, baby, when I say they are lighting his ass up, and then there are some who are absolutely over there probably, appreciating the things that he's saying. Okay. So this is what he says. So let me remove this here for a second. Good morning, Terry. Good morning, Symmetry. Good morning, y'all. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Okay, so Todd Dulaney says, take away from the Stellars in years of experience, my little 2 cents. Don't allow someone to put you in some clothes just because they say that they're a stylist and you're not. Fashion goes in some ridiculous direction sometimes. Tell the stylist, I want to look like a man or I want to be a woman, not a confused human. You don't have to go in the direction of fashion. Ask anyone backstage with me. I'm super vocal. Nah. I don't know what that other word because I put his picture up there. Something about too much of that. Not too much of that, maybe. I don't know. Okay, here's the thing, Todd. Let me look on my other phone. Hold on. No. Okay, so he said that last part says, ask anyone backstage with me. I'm super vocal. Nah, not too much of that. Okay. So a lot of people are calling him a bully. First of all, this is not Todd Dulaney's first time making a statement, and I don't care how many posts y'all put up about Todd Dulaney allegedly can whoop people. I mean, it doesn't matter where you from or who you are about you whooping folks. It's somebody else out there that can whoop your ass too. Like, I don't understand why y'all be saying that. And then let me just be all the way 1,000, right? Todd Dulaney, just a year or two ago, you was wearing a comforter set down to the Stellar Awards. So I'm gonna need you to shut up because honestly, again, girl, you're not too far from what you actually put as a post. I mean, come on now. We just seen you 2 years ago down there with a Big Lots comforter on. You and your wife was matching with your Big Lots comforter set on, and then you had another to come down here and say confused humans. And see, I think that this goes a lot with what we get ready to talk about when we get ready to talk about uh 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 um when we get ready to talk about Love and Faith Atlanta and the LGBTQ community, because this was a dig at the LGBTQ community. We're gonna be all the way 1,000. This was literally a dig. I definitely know, in my opinion, who I think he's talking about. So I'm just put it out there because see, I wish you was bad enough to put a damn name on it. I think you was talking about like folks like Daryl Walls and the rest of them because there were some, and mind you, I don't mind stepping out of the comfort zone with what I'm wearing, right? Like none of us should in 2025. None of us should be like uncomfortable with some of the things that we're wearing. It's 2025, girl. Just put it on, okay? But girl, you're not too far from what you're talking about here. Okay. You're not too far from what you're talking about here. Okay. When you had that Big Lots comforter on like it was a cape, like you was going to save the world, didn't nobody say shit to you. So you feel the need to come down here on the internet and do it. Now, here's the interesting part. What's up, L Teddy? Here's the interesting part to me. The interesting part is the girls that are going between his post and other people's posts, where on other people's posts, they are not agreeing with what he's saying, but they down off up in his post, talking about, yeah, I agree, laughing emojis, or whatever the case may be. So I find it very rich, girl. Y'all gospel girls, church girls, y'all got this thing all the way backwards because the very thing that y'all get up and speak about is the very thing that you're doing or have done. Like, it's weird to me. It's weird to me. I'm looking at his style of dress now, and it's not it's not reading the most straight man you'll ever meet in life. And that's what the people are saying. That's what, especially our community, that's what the people are saying. Like, sir, you're not too far from exactly what you're stating over here. And just because you're married to a woman don't mean nothing. It means absolutely nothing. But he didn't stop there. All right, hold on a minute, hold on. So then he says this. He says, I've offended some. Unfollow me. Because I'm like that. Not churchy like that, but really like that. So is this supposed to be a threat? Because nigga, like, let's just, I'm sorry, we're just gonna call a spade a spade. Baby, believe that there are people that can tongue tussle with your ass too. Like, you not what you think you are. Like, you really not. I don't care where you're from. Y'all can miss me with that bullshit. Y'all love to say I'm from the Bronx, I'm from such and such, I'm from such and such. It don't matter where you from. You can still get your ass whooped exactly where you're from. Like, I don't get it. Like, what's tea? And then he says, from this day forward, any and every time I minister, it will be with all black on and all black forces, all black Air Force Ones, so that you will always remember that I said what I said. Okay, well, we're gonna always remember you said what you said, but girl, you just not too long ago came out the very clothes that I was questioning you about whether if you were a part of the community or not. And again, being married means absolutely nothing. So I want everybody to mark what he said here about him wearing a hoodie and black Air Forces. I don't ever want to see you in nothing different. Leave them big lots, capes and comforter sets and stuff where they are. Like, how dare you? And a lot of this was to an actual stylist. Like, he was definitely going for a stylist that was there at the actual Stella Awards. And then some people didn't like what Jay Bolin was doing. As far as, I think this is a dig at everybody who was a stylist that may give their people something touchy to wear or something different to wear. Tasha Cobbs has been styled by Jay Bolin for years at this point. Y'all had a problem with Jacqueline Carr's dress. She's dressed to the nines. Now when she a couple weeks ago when she had on a fitted dress, y'all had a problem with her having on a fitted dress. Then she come down here to the Stella Awards with a ball gown on, with a train and everything, and y'all still got a problem with it. I am so sick of y'all undone as Christians. Girl, y'all sit and act like y'all are so pure, holy, and acceptable under Christ. Everything that you do is the right thing to do. Girl, y'all can miss me with all of that. Like, it is crazy to me. Wait. This here fruit cup trying to insinuate people being gay. Yes, absolutely. Let me go back to the original post. That's exactly what this was about. You knew he was talking about the LGBTQ community when he made this last piece of the post. Hold on, let me remove the comment. When he made the last piece of this post, or before that, when he said, "Don't allow someone to put you in some clothes just because they say that they're a stylist and you're not." Fashion goes in some ridiculous direction sometimes. Tell the stylist, "I want to look like a man," or "I want to be a woman, not a confused human." Girl. Right. Sparkly suits, glittery suits, and all of the things. And just two Stellar Awards ago, he had on a Big Lots comforter set, and we couldn't really tell what that was about. So, girl, again, what you are coming out here doing, it don't hit like you think it hit. And no one cares where you from. No one cares if you got hands. No one cares about none of that. Nobody cares about none of that. Honestly, let's just be for real. No one cares about you being super vocal. You could be super vocal and still be super damn wrong. That's another thing that I don't understand with people. You could be super vocal and be super damn wrong, and you're wrong. But go out, girl. Go out, girl. I hope you get everything you're looking for, girl. Okay, Todd Dulaney. And yeah, there was a bunch of people that said they unfollowed him. Somebody said, my friend LaSalle said, what he say? Hold on, let me get it. He said, I unfollowed that great name. And baby, when I say that sent me, because y'all know Todd Dulaney got that song, and I call your name. So he said I unfollow that great name. Yeah, unfollow. And I also unfollowed a whole lot of people that I saw over there in the comments going in. Girl, y'all the biggest punks, and y'all got the nerves to literally be going in on what somebody got on. Are you serious? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Half of you girls wear these church hats like you somebody's church mother, and you got the nerve to be down in his comments laughing and kicking and giggling. Are you for real? Are you for real? You walking around here looking like Mother Wilkins over here that's been at the church for 55 years with them big hats on. Can't nobody see past her. And y'all wearing the same thing, and you got the nerve to be down in his comment section laughing. Girl, you punks, you girls, child. I guess she announcing her and yeah. Child, these people, I'm telling you, these people be so hypocritical. Y'all are so hypocritical. Hypocritical. Girl, in the words of that little boy, I'm tired of this church. Listen, mother, tired of this church. Girl, I kid you not. I kid you not. It's the girls in the comments for me. It's the girls in the comments for me. I said, man, I know good and well half of y'all are not talking. Girl, you can't find the first heel to put on to get down to church service, and you got to know to be giggling and kikiing in the comment section. But Todd, here's my thing again, because at first I was like, oh, I don't see nothing wrong with what he said, but then after I read this second part or this last part, or not the last part, but the second to last part, I tell them I want to be a man or I want to look like a woman. Girl, okay. What you do is you pack up that damn ugly ass comforter set you had on. You pack that bitch up and you take it on back there where you need to take it to, because girl, you're not too far. You're not too far from exactly what you're talking about. Okay. All right. Now, if y'all are interested in seeing, if y'all are interested in seeing what's going on, go around there on Facebook. Go pull them up. Go pull them up. Because again, they are, good morning, Nitwit. They are super exhausting. Super exhausting. And it's the same shit over and over again. It's the same thing. Y'all want everybody to do a certain thing. And then when it's not done, then you come out on the internet. Girl, you literally just had on something questionable. Okay? Girl. And I guess now because you had on some kicks, you had on a black suit and some shiny. I mean, your shoes were shiny shoes. They had diamonds and pearls and everything all over them. You went down there and got all your grandmama pearls and put them on them shoes. And then you got the nerve to talk about somebody. You went around there and got all them rhinestones from out your grandmama closet, put them on them shoes, and they want to come out here and talk about somebody. And then let's not talk about how y'all put them rhinestones and pearls on them damn suits and stuff, safety pins, and all of the rest of the stuff. So what you mad about? What you over here talking for, girl? I don't read straight men, at least not that straight, presenting being I would date. Well, isn't that something? Isn't that something? Oh, I got something to watch after this, honey, because I want to watch T.S. Madison and Monique on her podcast. I can watch that after I get done here. Okay, so let's get over here to Merge TV. Let's get over here to Love and Faith Atlanta. Listen, I want to say this again. I think Larry did a great job. I think so again, salute to everybody who was on that panel last night. Salute to them. Because again, it ain't easy having these conversations, and I salute them for having the conversation, because they could have most definitely walked away from the conversation, but they chose to have the conversation, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I think more people need to have these conversations, and we may not agree, and that's okay. That is okay, but you're gonna respect me, all right? Now, on to the tussles, in the chat last night. Okay, there was a lot of tussling back and forth in the chat last night. I was waiting for somebody to at me, because that's the biggest mistake for you to do in a conversation like this, is for anybody to at me, right? But I do know that there were a couple of people, when I would post something, they would say something back, but not put an at on it. I wasn't talking to nobody in that chat. Everything that I had to say was about the panel and the things that they had to say. It wasn't about anybody else in that chat. And again, I told y'all last night, I wasn't surprised by that chat. I'm still right now not surprised by that chat. Okay, you had some very nasty, evil, and yes, I'm gonna call you evil. A lot of y'all, I really want to know how do you think you are going to make it into the kingdom with how nasty some of y'all are? And no, miss me with the, oh, y'all just don't want to hear the truth. No, we done heard the truth for years and years and years and years and years on years. But when is the church going to be held responsible for the things that they do? Okay, that's what I want to know. When is the church going to be held responsible for the things that they do? When are people going to be held responsible for molesting and touching and doing all of these things? When are y'all going to hold these people responsible? So again, in the chat, nobody, girl, again, if you would have added me, it would have been a problem in there. And I'm pretty sure they'd have found a way to block me by the time I got done with your answers in that chat. Okay. So I want to listen to a snippet of this. I definitely want you guys to go over and follow Merge TV. I believe episodes 1 and 3 are out. Y'all know we have reviewed episode 1 and 2. I don't think we've reviewed episode 3. Y'all, these episodes are short episodes. They're not longer than 30 minutes. I believe the one from Sunday was like 15 minutes long, 16 minutes long. The week before that, I believe it was like 18 to 20 minutes. And then the week before that was like 24 minutes or something like that. So they're not long episodes for you to go over and binge and watch. Okay. But I solely want to get into the conversation when they speak about the homosexual topic. So give me 1 second. Okay, hold on. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so they got into the Jesus model because if y'all can remember on the episode, Jamal Bryant was telling I can't remember his name, but Jamal Bryant was basically telling him, what's this Jesus model thing that you're talking about? Because you're acting or you're making it seem like none of us are preaching a Jesus model. So Larry asked for clarification on the Jesus model, and I was here for it. Now, again, y'all, I'm only going to play the audio of this, but I do want you guys to hear what took place. And some of it is hard to hear because I believe in the beginning they were having a lot of audio issues with some mics not working and some mics actually working. Once they started swapping mics and doing all of that, it made it better. So let's go ahead and get into Larry asked a question about the Jesus model, and now they're explaining it. So let's get into it. Actually, I guess I'll put it on the screen so y'all know who's talking and who's not. So hold on. Cause we don't know everybody like that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't mind. And I don't mind coming to the screen either. Oh, yeah. It's early, but you know, he's still He's still here. He's present and accounted for. Hey, you all, how y'all doing? Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's get into it. And I'm gonna mute my mic so you guys won't hear an echo.
Love, which is walking with people through whatever journey that they have to go through. And when you look at the African American church, one of the things that we fail or we have not mastered is discipleship, which is the Jesus model. I think, it's one thing to gather people, but it's something else to walk with them on their journey. Deliverance looks different for everybody, and for me, I want somebody to walk with me. I want somebody to be just like Jesus, not to judge me and to say, where are you? And that's when I say the Jesus model, I really do mean it. I want you to walk with me. I want you to love me. I want you to disciple me. I don't want to just come and join your church. I want you to hold my hand, and I want you to I don't want to just be another number. And so I feel as though that every church should be preaching the Jesus model. And it's my.
Now, I want to say this. One thing that I have noticed, and I'm not saying this about him personally because I'm not under his ministry. So I'm not saying this about him personally, but I am saying this in general. One of the things is he said, walk with me. That's a problem right there in itself, because there's no such thing, in my opinion. There's no such thing as you walking someone through. And again, we're about to get on this conversation of same gender loving, homosexuality, LGBTQ community. I don't feel like there's no walkthrough. I feel like it's you live this lifestyle, in my opinion. You're sinning. You're a little disgusted here to me. I don't necessarily get that. And at least I can speak for myself. There is no help. There is no walkthrough. There is no nothing, in my opinion. It's always looked at as if you're gross, you're disgusting, you're going straight to hell. And really, honestly, let's just sit back. And again, there is no holding my hand and walking me through the process. And again, I'm speaking from my preference. You don't have to agree with me, but I'm speaking from my experience. There has not been a walkthrough. There's been nothing but humiliation, embarrassment, judgment. It's so much. It's so much. It doesn't fall under that line of let me hold your hand and let me walk you through this. It doesn't happen that way. But again, that's just my take on it and my experience.
My take.
I got that. I understand that. But I'm gonna say this here. I don't think he liked Brent. That's correct, right? I don't think he liked that you ordained people that's in same-sex activities.
So let me say this, and I'll share this for the room, because if you have someone that's in the LGBTQ plus community serving, if you have someone in the LGBT plus community serving in your church, they're not licensed, they're not ordained, and you're saying that you're not ordaining them. If they're serving, you've already created an undercurrent that you approve, to me. And so for me, it's a no-brainer. And for some, it may not be, because what I don't understand is I can serve, I can tithe, I can do all of these things in your church, which means I've technically validated you on the ground. And this is the thing, you basically given me a license without saying you giving me a license. Because if you're doing praise and worship, I've given you a license to touch my people. Wow. If you're ushering, I've given you a license to touch my people. But because we don't want to publicly say it, and we don't want to publicly admit it.
Look, baby, I'm glad you said this. Good morning, Crystal. Good morning, Gwen. Good morning, everybody coming in. I'm glad you said this. Now, I agree with what he's saying. I do agree with what he's saying. But I'm with you on this lifestyle thing. That is one thing that grinds my gears, is calling what we live a lifestyle. I don't like that, nor do I like being compared to a pedo. Y'all, that shit really disgusted me last night. Like, I'm tired of hearing that. That's the first thing y'all want to do, is compare the community to a pedo. Why? When you got pedos who are literally heterosexual men who are literally doing the very thing that you think we're doing because we're gay men, or because we like, come on. That's something I've never understood. And that comparison, and in that chat last night, how people was agreeing with that comparison wore me out. I'm like, that is the most disgusting thing that you could ever say. I ain't with it. If I'm honest, I do agree with him. I feel like it's almost that thing where I said it benefits you to allow the homosexual to serve. Because like Thais said last night, and I think that this was really important, and it's important for us to remember, is that there is no choir or praise team without the gay men. There is no minister of music, and I'm not saying ministers of music and all ministers of music are gay. I'm not saying that. There wouldn't be music, there wouldn't be this, there wouldn't be that in the church if it wasn't for us wanting to serve in the church. But I do agree with what he said. I agree with that. Yeah, using the word lifestyle is stupid. I have a good girlfriend. I have a good girlfriend, and she went to alkaline vegan because she went to the doctor. Doctor put her on all these pills, and she was like, "I'm not taking 20 pills a day." So she had changed her lifestyle to alkaline vegan, and she has been alkaline vegan for the last 6 years. That's a lifestyle. What we do, it's not a lifestyle. I am so tired of hearing people say that. But child, let's keep going. We got a lot to cover.
I think that's the nomenclature in the church, where if I'm open with my sexuality, then I'm not going to do this and I'm not going to do that. I grew up in the church and I watched guys marry women who I knew they didn't like.
Yeah,
women,
puss.
But because
right, that's what puss. It's puss. P-U-S-S. Leave the Y off for holiness. Right.
But because they want to be a part of the bishopric or an elder or a leader, as long as they were not open, they were ordained. And then now you got these guys marrying these women that don't love these women, and they're not.
They can't love them. They can't love them.
And they're bringing diseases to these women. And my question is to the church: which one would you rather have? A whole bunch of women catching diseases, or a real conversation about these men in the church who this is where they are?
Okay, now that I don't agree with it. And I thought that was Gerald that said that. So let me apologize, because I thought Gerald said that last night. I am so sick, and I want you guys to honestly educate yourself about STDs, HIV, AIDS. I want y'all to educate yourself about that. Now, and LTD, I'm gonna read your comment in just a minute. I want y'all to like really think about that thing before you continuously say stuff like this. Because here's the thing: the reality is that you have men, heterosexual men, that are within the church that are passing diseases, and y'all not talking about that. You're not talking about pastors sleeping with Shantae, Sasha, Sarah, all the rest of you're not talking about that. Shaniqua back there sneaking and having sex with Shaniqua and doing all of the things, and then literally sitting up taking the same thing you laid down with Shaniqua and what Shaniqua was doing, and then you didn't take it to your wife. I want y'all to stop making it as if all gay men or men who are within the community don't have enough self-respect for themselves to. Y'all make it seem like it's only the community, and it's not. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's not. It is not. And I need you to look up the statistics. I need you to look up this stuff before y'all just get up here and say stuff like that, because that's not true. Okay, so hold on. Why aren't all pastors required to take psychology courses or social work courses, since this is the basis of what they do? I agree with this. I agree with this. But you know what, L. Teddy? They will put someone in a position without running a background check on them, without doing all of the things to see if they qualify, to see if they, but the moment that a homosexual wants to do it, oh, we're gonna have to, we gotta wait till you deliver, we gotta wait till you do this, we gotta wait till you do that. I agree with that. I think that does need to happen. When a person addresses the issues, family and friends say what a man does is his own business. Hey, Melanin Beauty. Hey, Tiffany. Tiffany said cheating is cheating. Disease has nothing to do with being gay. And that's my thing. And we kept seeing that in the comments last night. And I'm like, y'all are weird. Y'all are so weird. I'm sure one of y'all is probably scratching right now. Are you heterosexual or are you homosexual? See, y'all need to stop doing that. You got to stop doing that because it sounds dumb. It sounds stupid. And like I can't with the misinformation or without doing the studying or figuring this thing, research and doing it for your own self, because that is dumb. That is so stupid. Anyway, let's keep going.
Anointed, called, powerful. This is where they are. But if I'm forcing you to do this, then what is God really saying about the church? And how is God really viewing us?
You got something to say?
No, he's talking right. And the truth is, for those who don't know, we're part of the music industry. I've been part of the music industry for 30 years, written a lot of songs, and I know a lot of people in the music industry. And the truth is, most of our songs that we sing every Sunday is by some gay people. Wow. And let me say this. So that means you have ordained them every Sunday when we get up to sing the song that they wrote, that God gave them. So it's proof they can still be used by God. So how do we then fight that? We say, you can't sing on my pulpit, you can't be a welcomer to my pulpit, I can't ordain you, but we'll sing your songs that God gave you.
So do you
how do we combat that?
This is again where I say the church benefits from the homosexual community, and y'all will get up every Sunday and literally preach about the homosexual community, but you benefit from it. You don't have a problem receiving them tithes and offering. You don't have a problem with them directing the choir, because guess what? You want the baddest choir in the city. You don't have a problem with them doing praise and worship. Why? Because they write some of the best songs. They sing some of the best tunes. It benefits. It benefits. Let me use a gospel artist for a prime example. This is why I will never like Kim Burrell, because I feel like Kim Burrell is a walking hypocrite. She's literally shaped like a walking hypocrite, because you are the very person who has so much to say about the homosexual community, but that's who do your hair. That's who do your makeup. That's who gets you these boots that you can afford that can't nobody else afford, according to you. So that bullshit last year that she had to apologize for the things that she had said to the homosexual community, or otherwise she wasn't going to get a Stellar Award. I feel like all that shit is whack, because at the end of the day, the way that she feels and the way that she is, that's literally who she's rooted in. She would have never, if it would have been me, you would have never gotten no award, ever. Because the thing is this is your way of thinking. And therefore, folks literally had to force you to apologize in order for you to receive an award. Again, people like her benefit from a homosexual standpoint, but you feel that they are disgusting, but you don't have a problem with them digging in your hair. You don't have a problem with them doing your nails. You don't have a problem with you getting clothes to put on. You don't have a problem with those things. So again, y'all benefit from the community, but you spew so much hate. Let's keep going.
So do you feel as though they have an anointing? I want to hear from the ladies too. Do you feel like you can be wait a minute. She need her own show. Okay, so do you feel like, because he said anointed, that's some strong words. We don't hear that much. Do you feel like they can be anointed and powerful? And all of that?
But the Bible says that the gift and the call of God is without repentance.
Okay.
So there's a difference between being anointed and being gifted. And the reality of it is most people in church don't know the difference.
Okay.
Because you can experience a gift, a great gift, shout, run, all of that, but still leave out of church the same way that you came.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's a slim line between the gifting and the anointing. The Bible says that anointing destroys the yoke. Yeah. So oftentimes we've got caught up on gifts and we've celebrated people's gifts, but we've never celebrated their anointing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I personally believe the anointing comes from the life that is lived.
Yeah. Okay.
You can be gifted and not live the life.
Mm-hmm.
No, I disagree.
I totally disagree. I disagree.
Oh, man. I disagree.
Yeah.
I feel like
Let me ask that. You can be anointed, gifted.
You can be gifted. You can be gifted, but the anointing flows on a consecrated life.
Huh? I disagree. I disagree.
Okay.
And because I think in the church we have used the word anointed and anointing, and it's become part of this Christianese thing that we, and we even reference it as being oily. When in actuality, biblically, all it is being chosen, set apart, and made effective for what it is God has called you to do. And that's why the anointing does not just operate within the four walls of the church. You can have a teacher that has a student that nobody else has been able to reach that student. But this one teacher has been able to draw them in. Why? Because they're anointed for what it is they're doing. And so with that thought process, God can anoint whomever he chooses to use for whatever it is he needs to get done. Because if we are waiting on God to only anoint perfect people, none of us are used. Now maybe we're not a part of the community, right? Which I'm still struggling with why it's the saint, the sinner, and then the community, right? It's almost like they're not sinners, they're something other than, right? And so I still struggle with that ideology, but
I just want to say this. Shout out to Tammy Hatton, because I do think that she said a lot of things that needed to be said. And I love the fact that the Hattons are not afraid to say what needs to be said. This is why they say that Tammy and Gerald is good for reality TV, is because they are not afraid to say the things that need to be said. So shout out to Tammy. Let's keep going.
This concept of, that I have to present a certain way in order to be anointed means that I'm already operating on some level of God likeness because I'm good enough for his power, right? And that I can't find that. I can't find it biblically. It's the same thing where we say, be holy for I am holy. That's not him telling us to do something. That's him telling us what we are because he said it. Because if it's something I can do, then how is the ground holy? If it's something, that I can do, how is a day holy? You know what I'm saying? Whatever is holy is what God decides is. Whatever is anointed is what he has set aside. David was a hoe. That's what I'm doing. David, don't hear me.
You taking my stuff. My stuff.
Some people were challenged because I said, let's talk about the biblical parallels of Diddy and Cassie and David and Bathsheba. She was trafficked the minute he sent the army to take her from her house to his. She didn't ask to go. The Bible said at a time when kings were gone to war, when her husband was gone, he should have been gone too. You get what I'm saying? And then we also skip over the fact that she was bathing because she was coming off of her cycle, but she left pregnant. That wasn't no 1 day, that wasn't no week, that wasn't no 2. Baby girl had to ovulate and she was still there. But David is that guy? No. He's not anointed because David was good. David couldn't even build the temple because he had too much blood on his hands. So who he was as a perfect man was not why he was anointed. It was because that's who God chose to use for the job.
David was a hoe. Okay, David was a hoe. I mean, it's the truth. David was a hoe. David was a hoe. Read the text. David was a hoe. Okay, but she spoke the truth. She's speaking the truth. Shout out again to Tammy. Tammy spoke the truth, and I love the fact that again she's not afraid to say what needs to be said. Let's keep going.
He was anointed as king. He was gifted as a musician, and he also was a killer. He's all of those.
And a rapist.
So explain this to me. That's why I'm like, y'all gotta explain it to me. Make it make sense. We preach David, we don't preach nothing. David was the man after God's own heart. But he was a killer. He took people's wives, he took them and did his thing. And then not only did he do that, he was gifted to be a musician. He's one of the dopest musicians you're gonna find. He had cast out a demon when he played.
And I get the idea. I'm not saying we don't have to live a certain way and that we shouldn't live a certain way as believers. I get the idea.
Right.
But I think this doctrine of perfectionism that we preach and teach makes the ones that we are trying to reach that are lost feel like they cannot come, that God is not accessible to them because they are too far gone. And the truth is, we are not teaching the Bible. We are teaching our own ideology and what we think it should be and how it should be.
So let me ask.
Yeah, Tammy. What is Tammy's cash out? What is Tammy's cash? This is crazy because again, that's facts. That is facts. It is, y'all are not teaching the Bible. You know it's wrong, and so you feel like the hate and the things that you spew out is biblical when it's not. It's not. And this is again, it takes me back to what I said in the beginning. It takes me back to these pastors allegedly saying that they are grabbing your hand and walking you through the process. That's the same bullshit line they told me when I said that somebody did something to me in the church that they should not have done. And when I went to go tell some other elder, that's literally the same thing that they told me. So it is factual. I'm gonna walk you through this. I'm gonna hold your hand. But holding my hand through something that someone did to me, no, what you guys chose to do was you chose to take me. You wanted to restaurate me. What we doing this for? So we're not going to the person who committed the act, right? We're coming straight over here. And y'all are telling me that in order for me to serve in this church, in order for me to do anything in this church, first I have to have a meeting with 15 members of the church, whether they are associate pastors or whatever. And to top it off, let's not even forget that at that meeting that they had me sitting in, the very person who did what they did to me was sitting in that meeting. So no, the church don't hold your hand and walk you through nothing. They don't. They do not. And again, this is my experience. I'm not saying that everybody else should have the same experience or has had the same experience, even in the LGBTQ community, as I have had. But how do I go and I tell someone, hey, the minister of music, the person that's over the youth department, did this to me. And it wasn't just one time. It was over time. And again, I wasn't young enough to be like, oh no, don't do this to me. Don't do this. Don't do that. No, that wasn't the case for me. And then we sit down at this table and y'all think that I'm about to sit here at this table with 15 people and y'all don't think I'm going to call my family about what y'all trying to do to me? Y'all trying to have this meeting with just me. When I said I was going to leave and call my mama. No. We got to go ahead and do this now. No, you going to wait till she get here. That's what you're going to do. You're going to wait till she get here. Because y'all have literally turned what I have come to you for. I have literally broke down coming to you with this. And then you turn around and use it against me. This is what I mean by the church don't grab your hand and they don't walk you through nothing. It's a bunch of bullshit. Yeah, and I'm saying it. I'm saying it. It's a bunch of bullshit. Because y'all will cover for Bishop so-and-so. Tammy even gave her testimony where she said at the age of 14, a then pastor, it was a pastor at the time, did some things to her. And now to this current day, they are a bishop. This is what I mean by we get to cover, y'all get to cover up everything that y'all do. But y'all want to come out and throw bows and arrows at everybody else in the community. And I have a problem with that. I do. I have a problem with that. When are y'all going to sweep around the church's front door? Because everything that y'all know not supposed to be going on in the church is literally going on in the church, but y'all don't want to have them conversations. Every week, at least 5 minutes of your sermon is about the homosexual community. It's tired. It's tired. When are y'all going to start talking about the things that y'all do? When are y'all going to start talking about you sleeping with men outside of the church on your wife? When you going to talk about that? Listen, did we not just have a scandal? And see, here's the thing. A lot of people felt like we didn't believe J-Rock when J-Rock came out and said anything. It wasn't the fact that I didn't believe J-Rock, because in the beginning I was like, oh my God. It was how J-Rock presented the situation. But yet and still, if it is true to this day, what that man name is over there in Nashville, what's the man name that he was supposed to allegedly been with, Bishop Fred Matthews? This is what I'm talking about. Y'all don't want to talk about the things that actually make a difference. But you rather dogpile your hate and your disdain than to sit down and actually have the real conversation about what it is that you, what is it about you that doesn't allow you to understand, to literally walk people through it, the lifestyle, which is a bunch of bull crap. Child, listen, I'm telling y'all. Melanie Beauty said I had an assistant pastor make passes at me in church, and he was married, or he's married. I knew his wife since I was 15. I left that church. And then they want to know why folks ain't in church and why folks don't go to church. This is the main reason why a lot of people do not go to church, because of the things that has happened to them within the church that is literally swept up under a rug. And if we don't talk about it, if the victim don't talk about it, then it never happened. If the victim don't get enough balls to get out here and tell exactly what happened to them, it doesn't matter. Because to them, let's sweep this thing up under here and we're not going to never talk about it. It's cool. It's Gucci. Child, let me keep going.
Ask you a question. How did y'all just arrive to this thinking, or was it, did your son give you the gift of this consciousness?
No, because my son came out to me when he was 15, and he wasn't trying to be active in the church, and we weren't trying to be pastors.
Okay.
And yeah, and I think a lot of people get stuck on the fact that, oh, their son is gay. Absolutely gay, but he used to be agnostic, and God handled that, so we're expecting God to handle everything else.
Oh, okay.
And so.
Wait. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
So, so you are believing that the gay gonna go away.
Well, no, here's what I'm believing. I'm believing that whatever God has for him in his walk, in his life, that God is going to handle it. Because I've been saved for years and years, and it's just some stuff God broke off of me 2 years ago.
Yeah, that happened.
And if anybody else wants to be honest about it, it's some stuff
Tammy said, I've been saved for a very long time, but there's some stuff that I just broke off about 2 years ago. That lets you know you are never to pass judgment on anybody, because you are dealing with something that can be looked at as you need to heal from this, or you need to fix this situation. Like, come on. I don't understand the way a lot of y'all think. Y'all will accept cousin Bubba and your brother to sit up here and touch on your kids and your children. They come and tell you don't believe them. And here we go, wanting to pass judgment on people. And again, for those of you that will watch this replay, don't come up in my comments talking about y'all just mad because folks is telling the truth. We telling the truth too. What else is going on?
Stuff we're still walking through, but my process is mine with God. His process is his with God. And whatever God sees fit to do with him, his surrendered life to God will bring that forth.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, you got Mike. They said your Mike's the only one coming through. Praise the Lord, everybody there in internet land.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
No, what she just said is true. First of all, I would close my church, sell everything that we have in that building, every instrument, every mic, every sound system. It was between.
Well, if you do that, I want my $10,000 back.
But I'm gonna sell stuff back to you. No, I would shut it down if they told me I had to choose between my gay son and the church. I would pick my son.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Over anybody, because he's my first ministry.
So how do y'all feel? Did y'all hear that? How do you feel about that? You agree with that?
So my point, here's my son who I'm trying to win against. You asked the question, you said, are we looking for the gay to go away?
Yeah.
If I be 100, and if I could be 100, please, anybody who's in that community, don't fault me, because I grew up in Detroit, Michigan, where men worked on cars. Everything, if you were gay, you didn't tell nobody,
right.
You kept it to yourself. I'm just new in the last 2 centuries, because when my son came out at 15, first thing I did was call my best, 2 decades, thank you. I came out, when he came out, I told us, I knew already.
Yeah.
I said, I knew already, because at 12, 13, phone was supposed to be ringing, girls supposed to be calling. That's how we grew up. And I called my best friend. I called LaShawn, God rest his soul, LaShawn Daniels. I said, he done came out, man. Mm-hmm. My best friend said, did he do anything? Because the first question I asked Larry, my son, I went in this room, I said, how do you know you were gay? How do you know? Who did it? I don't care if it was your grandfather, your cousin, your uncle. Tell me who did it. He said, I don't know. He said, boy pushed me up against a locker and kissed me, and I liked it.
I also want to say this too. Everybody in the LGBTQ community do not have the same testimony. Everybody don't have the same things that have happened to them. Some people have not been touched. Some people have not had those things happen to them. And that's the honest to God truth. Sometimes people just act on it, they like it, and that's just what they like. But I wanted to say that again, that every gay, person doesn't have the same experiences. And that's one thing that I think we all can say in any group or community. Everybody's situation is not going to be the same. Everybody's situation is not going to be the same. And so I just wanted to say that as well. Hey, that lady, 1982, what's going on? Let's keep going.
I said, oh, man. So I said, oh, man. That's what I said. Oh, man, because I'm a father.
Yeah.
I grew up man's man.
Right.
I feel less than.
Yeah.
I feel like I failed him. I feel like it's my fault. This is my feelings going through my head. So I called my best friend. He says, he ain't done nothing yet. I said, he said, he ain't done nothing, boy kissed him. He said, all right, this is what we're going to do, because we live in Los Angeles at the time. He said, we're going to take him to Las Vegas, and we're going to put some breasts in his face, and everything's going to change.
All right.
And I laughed it off. We laughed it off, but I was looking for it to be a change. I said, we're going to pray. We're going to show him what real love looked like. We're going to show him what two parents. So this is what I would do, Larry, and this is my right hand of God. Every time he come out of his room, I say, "Good morning, Austin." I say, "Come here, girl," and hit her on the butt, kiss her. This is what you supposed to be like, and this is what you're supposed to like. And I found out, y'all ready? What I found out? He was resenting me every time I did it. Yeah. He told me one day I got into an argument with my middle son, who's a hoe. My middle son's a hoe. I'm just telling you how it is. Me and my son get into it about something. So I called him because everybody's grown now. They all grown. So me and him get into it about something. So I called my oldest. I said, "Do you think I'm this and I'm that?" He said, "You really don't want to know my answer." I said, "No, I really want to know your answer, but don't disrespect me in answer." Yeah. He said, "Yeah, you can be that." And he said these words to me that messed me up. I wasn't pastoring, nowhere near trying to pastor. He said, "Every time you hit mama on the butt, kiss her, and say the words you said about this is what it should look like," he said it was like nails on a chalkboard to me. He said it hurt me because it seems like you were not trying to at least hear me. You were trying to make me what you want to see versus trying to find out where I am and meet me and see if you can help me. He said, and I took that. I got off the phone. I called her crying. I said, and I'm a grown man who ain't supposed to be crying. 40 years old, like I said, "Baby, the boy's telling me." She said, "You don't listen to him all the time." So I had to change my position. And the Bible says, "He that winneth souls is wise." I'm trying to win my son. I don't want none of my children to go to hell. But I'm not going to sit here and say, "Well, you're going to go to hell if you didn't." No, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to love you through what you're going through. And I'm going to love you, and I'm going to make sure you get as close to God. And I want to be able to keep a wall down where you at least talk to me. So if you
see, the difference here is that there's conversations that are happening between Gerald and his son. That's a huge difference. And one of the things that I also noticed that he said too, it's almost like people in the church will want to rush how things should end up for you. That like they want to rush the gay up out of you, or they want to rush these things up out of you. You heard him say that his friend was like, "Let's take him to Vegas and get some titties in his face and stuff like that." Like, I'm glad that he realized that that's not gonna do nothing. It's not gonna do nothing. And no shade, no tea, but that wouldn't be the right way to go anyway. If we're gonna go by the word and by all these other things that y'all are talking about, that wouldn't be the right way to go either, right?
Yeah. Talk to me, I can then slip in some scriptures. I can then slip in some love. But I'm still sitting here as a father of a gay son, of a whole son, and the son, I don't know if he got 4 girlfriends now, my baby boy. I don't know what he got going on. Right. But I want to keep the dialogue open where they'll talk to me.
Isn't that more important than evangelizing them?
That's evangelizing to me.
Okay.
I trust God. And best case scenario, we are all seed planters. Can't none of us save nobody. Can't none of us, we can turn them off. We can't make them want to have nothing to do with this God we serve, nothing to do with this church. But at the best I can do is plant seeds. I can share what I believe. I can love them in spite of telling them I may not agree. And what I have found with my children is that has been the best thing. My gay son has cried knowing I'm not going to treat you funny. And I tell people my kid he's not dinner table conversation. That's not what we do around here. And whether I agree with his lifestyle or not, that's between him and God. You know what I'm saying? But as his mother, and then as a woman of God, as a preacher of the gospel, I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna plant the seeds of the gospel. I'm gonna tell you how Jesus could. The problem is we don't trust God. We don't believe God can do what he says he can do.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Have y'all ever heard her preach?
Oh, Jesus.
Somebody sent me a clip, at that time I was posting a lot. You're really good couple. Why is that paralleled with a sin that harms other? And on the show, I can't remember, was it Bishop?
That's good enough. But then when you talk about the Cleveland, James, all the ones that came before us.
Okay, so his question was very interesting. And again, it kind of goes back to what I said about people, the church benefiting from the homosexual community. He's basically asking in a nutshell. And again, I wish he would have asked the question better, but basically he's saying, how is it that all of these other people can be forgiven, come back to the church and not be looked at as disgusting, but the moment that a homosexual or the moment that a same gender loving LGBTQ walk in the church, it's a problem?
That's good enough for, why is that good enough for you? But we as people are not good enough for you.
Okay. Did y'all understand what he's saying? What he basically saying, here's our gifts, here's our talents, and we good enough for that. But we ain't good enough to be recognized as people. I think that's a great question.
I agree. And let me tell you something. I know that there's probably a lot of people in the bushes who don't agree, or who probably agree with, you know, shunning out the homosexual community, because it's wrong. And that's just it. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. And let's shun it out. I know that there are some people in the bushes that are listening like that. I'm gonna tell you, this ain't the channel for you. Okay. This ain't the channel for you. I don't operate like that. Okay. I don't. I want to have the conversation. So if you're not interested in listening and having the conversation, then this ain't the channel for you. This ain't the channel for you, nor is this conversation for you. And I just want to leave it at that. Like, some of y'all have real nasty ways, as if your disrespecting your nasty way is, I mean, that could be a possibility of keeping you out of the kingdom too. But y'all don't want to talk about that. It's because you are same-sex, a gender-loving person, and this is what it's supposed to be. And and some of y'all dying and going straight to hell by the way that you behave out here.
I think y'all the one to answer that.
One of the questions I always have is, does the church have, well, I know we have enough grace to watch an LGBTQ person come to the altar and say they want to give their lives to Christ, but we don't have enough grace as they leave that same altar switching. It's like we want this immediate divine deliverance. And for some reason, this is something that the church is intolerant of walking with someone through. And I think that the only way you're going to be able to win this community or even help them is not treat them like it's an ick. You know what I'm saying?
Tammy, you just like, Tammy was talking good last night. She was talking good last night, because that's the way that y'all make people feel. And again, I'm not talking to you if this is not your way of thinking, if this is not who, I'm not talking to you. But that is the way that people want to do. They want to rush your deliverance. They feel like everything that you do is icky and all of these things. But again, they benefit from the very thing that you do that they feel icky about.
Treat other people.
But some of what you just said, though, is problematic as relates to an ick, because you're saying you need to be delivered of that. It's a sin. And on the show, I can't remember, was it Bishop Phelps or somebody asked, saying, but you ordain a robber. Why is homosexuality between two people, that's just them two, consensual now, a proper age? Love should be involved, just like with a heterosexual couple. Why is that paralleled with a sin that harms others?
Well, let me say this so I can be clear. And maybe I'm not as progressive as others may be, but I am still of the belief that same gender loving, homosexuality, LGBTQ is not what God designed for us. I'm still of that belief. And so I would say,
I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I think the way that we speak, we're still injuring.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like we can tolerate the man and the woman that we know are fornicating or committing adultery. We're tolerable of that. We will even cover it many times. We will protect them. But the LGBTQ community, we will tear them down. You know what I'm saying? And for me, if we're viewing it as sin, then all sin is equal opportunity. You know, people say things like, oh, it's an abomination. Well, the Bible says so in discord.
And lying.
So is lying. So, you know, all of that kind of stuff. And so I do think that that is unfair. If you, from the pulpit as leaders, if we are going to say, no same gender loving that are walking in that lifestyle can be ordained or used, then nobody should be living together that's heterosexual either. The pastor shouldn't have girlfriends on the side. The first lady shouldn't have a man on the side. You shouldn't have kids that you keep secret, but everybody really know about. You know what I'm saying? It's stuff like that we gotta be.
Tammy, this is what we have been saying forever. It was so many nasty people in that chat last night, and if I could have went in on every last one of their bald head scallywag asses in that chat, I would say this very thing. There is something that you are doing that you know good and well you are not supposed to be doing, but y'all would love to pass judgment on what you feel like is wrong or what you feel like ain't right. Y'all are doing things every day. Having babies, having outside babies. How many of us have gone to a church where we have heard at least a pastor or someone who was a part of the clergy? How many times have we heard that they have outside children, they have done stuff on their wives, and they swept those things under the rug and never want to address them? Never want to address them. But the very moment that a homosexual or anyone walks in the church, it's immediate that you need to be delivered and you need to be set free. You need to be set apart. Otherwise, I know you don't really have a real relationship with God, because yet you have not come out of this. I'm telling y'all, I'm not the person, and I've said this several times. You know, there are people who be begging me to come to their church. Come to my church, Chef. Come to my church. I'm not coming. I'm not coming. I'm good. I'm good on it, and I'm getting ready to wrap this up. I'm good on church. I'm good on it. I may go to a concert or two. I may get a little dance in or two, but I'm good on the church. I'm good. I'm good. I'm so good. I'm good. Y'all are the most hypocritical human beings that I've ever seen or witnessed in my life. And I'm not talking about these people on this stage, because again, I appreciate them for having this conversation. I'm talking about those who continue to do these things over and over and over again. That's what I'm talking about. I had a friend of mine. She say, "Friend, when you coming to church?" I said, "Oh, you know, I don't really do church." She was like, "Nah, I need you to do church." I said, "No, I don't. I'm good. I'm good. I have a relationship with God, and that's all that matters for me. I have a prayer life. I tithe. I do. I tithe. I do all the things that are necessary for me to do in my relationship with God. I'm not going to a church. Out of all of these churches that I've been to, it's always something that goes on. I couldn't join the praise team because I looked a certain way. That's what I was told. Couldn't be in the choir because you gotta look. I gotta look. What? Oh, okay. That tells me everything I need to know. I have choir rehearsal right here at the house. I have praise team rehearsal right here at the house. Y'all will do anything. Let's talk about that man that done stole millions from his church and from everybody else. He done went, he done his time, and now they are accepting him back as a pastor. But let that have been homosexuality. Let him have gone, done something, slept with a man, come back. Oh, y'all wouldn't have wanted him to be back in the pulpit anymore. There have been some people who have served time for touching on girls and doing certain things, and y'all love to have them right on back in the ministry and working with the kids again. Child, this is a lot, and I felt the need to speak on this as being a part of the LGBTQ community. I appreciate Gerald and Tammy Haddon. I appreciate all these people up here for having this conversation. I do know that Pastor what's her name? Why is her name slipping my mind? Her husband died. Why I can't think of her name right now? She's right there in the blue. I can't think of her name, but in one of the episodes she said, you know, it's not the fact that she's necessarily accepting those who live this type of lifestyle, but she is willing to learn and willing to teach as well. A lot of times that's not what happens. That's not what happens. It's either you do or you don't, or you is or you ain't. The pastors who get in the pulpit and tell the congregation that he has a baby on the way by another woman, and the church will simply pray for him. Yep. Simply pray for him, may sit him down for a week or two, and then he's right back up doing the same thing that he's been doing. It's no problem. But we don't know how he affected the person that he got pregnant. How many times have we heard of young girls getting pregnant in the church by the pastor and the reverend? And this is something that they have to live with for the rest of their life. Yeah, I'm telling you, there's so many weak-minded people, I feel like, that just wants to talk about the surface level of stuff. But this conversation can go ways. It can go ways. It can go ways. Okay. And I'm going to tell y'all something interesting. This is interesting. I've lost 5 subscribers being on this live right now, and I'm okay with it. I want you to go and be blessed. Be blessed, because them same 5 that unsubscribed, I'm going to get them same 5 tonight, tomorrow, whenever I go live again. It's okay. It's okay. I want y'all gone, because here's the thing. What you cannot do is you can never disrespect me on my stance and how I feel about anything. You just can't do it. You can't do it. You don't like it, you don't have to tune in. I don't want you to tune in. You'll be okay. There's other people that you can go listen to, even the ones who and listen, I don't have a problem with people who believe certain things. I don't have a problem with that. What I do have a problem with is your disrespect for people. That's what I have a problem with. I have a problem with your disrespect for people, because some of y'all really do walk around here thinking that you can disrespect because someone doesn't live a way that you live. And that's just never going to happen. You're never going to be able to do that. Like the church last year that made the unwed teen mom apologize to the church. And that's the thing I'm talking about. Where was the father? Where was, see, that's what I'm talking about right there. That's exactly what I'm talking about right there. Made her get up, apologize, but had no smoke. Where is the daddy at? You should have told the daddy, you got to show up for service. But no, we'll humiliate. We'll make a woman stand up in the church. We'll humiliate her. We'll embarrass her. We'll make her feel all types of ways before we go grab the man that did what he did to her. Because it takes 2 to tango. But y'all don't want to talk about that, do it? Huh? Oh, why? Because it's a man and a woman? Oh, okay. Child. Let me take up an offering. Let me take up an offering. Good morning to everybody. I appreciate y'all for being here for this conversation. And again, I'm sure that there are some people in the chat that have actively been chatting that may not agree with me, but they know and they respect what it is we have going on over here. Okay, it is $9.13. Let's do $9.13. And if you can't do $9.13, let's do anything ending in 13. Of course not, you know, anything ending in 13, since it's 9:13. That's how I do it over here. It is 9:13 in the morning. Okay, that was so sad and disgraceful. Yeah, and again, these are things that happen all the time that we see, and we choose not to speak on these things instead of understanding that it is so much easier, I think, if you really walk people through this process, but y'all don't do it. And I don't care what the church says. Y'all don't restore, you don't help heal, you don't help do any of those things. Y'all rather pass judgment first, be disgusted, and then tell them if they don't get it together by this time, then they can't serve, they can't do anything. I can't. And I'll tell y'all this story one more time. I was about 16 going on 17, I believe. And for a few years, there was a youth pastor, and he not only was he a youth pastor, but he was part of the clergy. And that man would do things to me right there in the church. And I'm gonna just say do things to me. But it went pretty far. Then when I went to go tell the associate pastor, I didn't hear back from the associate pastor after he said he was going to have this meeting and he was going to talk, he was going to do all these things. I never heard back from the man. And one day my phone rang, and this is what this associate pastor said. He said, I can be at your house in 5 minutes to pick you up and bring you to the church, because we need to have a meeting with the pastor at the time, and then there was other people who were on the staff. We need to have this meeting. I thought, okay, at the time I wasn't thinking anything of it. I'm thinking if we having a meeting, then maybe we meeting about, what has happened overall. I never thought that when I stepped foot into that meeting, that is 15 people at this table, and they're at the table getting ready to literally chew me up, chew me a new one. I didn't do it. This man did it, and he had the nerve to still be in this meeting as well. I said, what y'all won't do, what you won't do, is have no type of meeting without my mama being here, without my mother being present. Y'all aren't doing any of this. I need somebody that is an adult that can also be present in this meeting. They wanted me to read Battlefield of the Mind. They wanted me to read Battlefield of the Mind, Joyce Meyer's book, every morning at 5 a.m. at the damn donut shop, drinking coffee and reading this damn book. I wasn't the one who did no shit that I wasn't supposed to be doing. The creep that y'all still got serving in that church to this day is the one who did it. These are the things that I'm talking about that y'all love to cover for. Y'all love to cover. These are the very things, and people want to know when you come into church. I continue to watch online what I've been doing. After that, I try to get comfortable, go to church. I go to Full Gospel Holy Temple in Dallas. Ushers mean and rude as hell, telling me and my friend that we need to go rethink. Do we have some different clothes in the car? Do you have some different clothes in the car? You again, y'all sit back, and I promise y'all, passing all of this judgment is not necessary, because you don't know what people have honestly been through. You don't know. But y'all love to sit up and pass judgment. Y'all love to sit up and say, well, God don't like this, God don't like this. Well, The very thing that happened to me, God don't like it either, but you're not talking about it. God don't like reverends and bishops and pastors and everything else touching on little girls, getting little girls pregnant before they even of age, 16 and 17, 15 pregnant by you. And you still get to serve. Tammy told y'all that at 14, a pastor then was a pastor that did something to her and is now a bishop and standing up in the house of God. And I'm quite sure ain't never brought up what you did to somebody. But you can pass judgment on the first homosexual that walks into your church. Girl, I can't. Good morning, Chef and Miles. Good morning, baby. What's going on? I'm so sorry that happened to you. The church is supposed to be a safe space for all human beings, and that's the problem, right? It's not a safe space. I don't see the church as being a safe space. I do not. And I'm saying that. I don't care who don't like it. I'm saying it. The church is not a safe space. It's supposed to be a safe space. It ain't never been a safe space for me. And again, I'm not speaking for other people. I'm speaking for myself. The church has never been a safe space for me. I am a PK. So I saw a lot in the church. That's why I refuse to go to family churches. I'm with you. I'm with you. I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot. I grew up in the church. I've seen a lot. But hey, here we are. I again want to shout out the Love and Faith cast. If you guys have not seen this, let me put this in the chat. Hold on. If you guys have not seen the full, I believe it's like an hour and 40 something minutes or something like that. Go check it out. Go check it out. It's a good listen. I listen to all of their points of views. I don't have to agree, just like you don't have to agree with me, but you will respect me. You will respect me. You will. You will respect me at any point, at any given point. You will respect me. Just as I will respect you. Todd Dulaney. Girl. Nice try with the people. Nice try to the people. And that's why the people's just chewing you up. The people are chewing you up over there. And no, it ain't nobody being sensitive. You just not too far from what you saying on that post. You've been listening in the background. So sorry that happened to you. Church hurt is the worst hurt. It is. And I don't view the church as a safe space. So I prefer to just not be around it. Sorry. If a good old musical come around, I may go. I may not. If someone passes away, it's probably necessary for me to step foot in the church. Ain't nobody having weddings in churches no more. So ain't nobody having weddings in church no more. So we ain't got to worry about the weddings. Okay. Everybody else getting married everywhere else. They eloping and having reception ceremonies separately. So again, I'm cool. I'm so cool on this way of thinking, and who knows, maybe it'll change. But for right now, I'm good with where I am. I'm good with where I am. I'm good with it. And it's not that, because listen, I think that this is, let me address this question. I think that a lot of people Some people think that going to a gay affirming church helps in a way, and I've tried that too, and it was enough for me too. So now here's what I will say. I want y'all to oversee, aware, Thais, anybody that is around there in Atlanta. I even said that when they were having the conversation, I think that they needed to have a gay affirming pastor to heat up the room. I do. I feel like you need, if we're going to have these conversations, if we're going to talk about these things, there should be a gay affirming pastor within the conversation as well. I do believe that. I believe that. So, anywho, anyway, anyhow, y'all, I got to get to work. I appreciate y'all. Well, actually, I'm gonna go on my walk and then I'm going to work. Hey, Miss Catherine, what's going on? If you were in Houston, I'd love for you to come to church with me. We have several openly gay members and couples. Oh, okay. What church do you attend in Houston? What church do you attend in Houston? For those of you that didn't see what Todd Dulaney said, here it is one more time. And then y'all can run it back as well. But this is what he said. And I said what I said in the beginning of this. Like, child. All right. With that being said, y'all, I hope that you guys have a beautiful day. Thank you so much. If you stuck here and listened to what I had to say, I really do appreciate it. Make sure you guys go check out this show, Love and Faith Atlanta. It's like a spinoff of the Preachers of Atlanta. Y'all remember that we really did enjoy Preachers of Atlanta. I wonder though. I do wonder, Dr. Holly Carter, are you bringing LA back? I know that LA was more of a wedding special for Bishop Jones and Lady Loretta Jones, but I am curious to know if you're going to bring LA back, because I think we need to have another type of conversation which our boy McClendon and the rest of them around there. But you know, that's another topic for another day, child. Okay. How do I order the oil? So give me 1 second, because I only have a few left. So let me put the direct link in here so that you can go purchase as soon as possible. And today is the last day for free shipping and 10% off. So let me see. Okay, let me paste the link. Okay, there's the link. You can head directly. That's the direct link. You head over there and you can purchase on the website before it is sold out. And then, I mean, you still will be able to buy them separately. But as far as like bundles, the bundles are sold, almost sold out. I got one of the triple and two of the double. The double consists of garlic and lemon, and then the double has the basil, garlic, and lemon in it. Okay. And then some people did just, of course, order regular oils as well. Okay. All right. I hope you guys have a beautiful day, and I will be sure to talk to you guys later. We will be doing another live today, because y'all know I got to get back into my reality TV, thick of it all. I have some things I want to say. I did see a photo. Yeah. Oh, wait. Before I go, I got some. Hold on. Before I go, and let me hurry up because I act like I got a lot of time. Let me show y'all this, because I stand 10 toes down on it. I'm sick of y'all buzzards. I'm tired. I'm tired. Okay, so I made this post because I can't take it no more. I cannot take it anymore. So let me show y'all this really quick. So I made this post over there on my community wall. I said some of y'all are just flat out weird on these apps. Every time somebody dies, here y'all go making it a conspiracy. And let's be real, when your family members pass away, you're not hopping on live, making up wild theories about who did what. But the second that a celebrity dies, suddenly your CSI Twitter and YouTube detectives. Now, Malcolm Jamal Warner can't even rest because y'all are running with wild things. Like his mama did it, his wife did it, somebody was out to get him while he was on vacation. And I'm like, do you hear yourself? Shut up. It's nasty, it's disrespectful, it's tired. He tragically got swept away by a current, and that's just on period. All the rest of this other shit, y'all are lame to be sitting up building up these conspiracy theories about this man. And it's so disgusting. And it's literally in my algorithm. And I'm like, why is this in my algorithm? There are a few content creators, and I will name you because I don't give a damn. Paper Chase and what's a messy sweet spot. Y'all ass have sat up and literally made content out of this man's death as if y'all are not wrong for doing that. Y'all are just as wrong as you thinking that these theories that you coming up with are supposedly wrong about his death. Y'all are just as wrong. Messy sweet spot, blaming it on his wife, blaming it on his mama. Y'all are some weak-minded and terrible-minded individuals to be sitting up here doing that. I think that is horrible. And it's so distasteful. I don't mind putting a name on it. I don't. And then you will have a poll on your video saying, are we going too far? Are we doing too much? Hell yeah, you are. And if you got to ask that question, then you know you're doing too much. I have never been so disgusted in my life. Sit up and see people do 6-hour lives acting like they damn detectives and can figure stuff out. That man went all the way down there to where Malcolm Jamal Warner was at. I just got your order, baby. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I just saw your order come through. Malcolm Jamal Warner. Hold on. Okay. That's cool. Whatever. Again, it's disrespectful and distasteful. And again, you asking a poll question talking about are we doing too much? Yes, you are. That man went all the way down to where Malcolm Jamal Warner tragically had his accident, and he is literally, I guess, putting sticks in the sand, talking about he didn't investigate it. He got more. He done more investigation than anybody else. Y'all sound fucking dumb. And sorry to have to use that word talking about the church, but y'all sound dumb. Oops. They did that with Angie Stone. And listen. With Angie Stone, I think they went too far when they was coming for her daughter, when they was doing all that extra stuff. It's too much. Y'all doing too much. Y'all doing too much. Too much. Too much to create content, get you a little buzz or whatever the case may be. Y'all do the most. Y'all do the most. I already told y'all I don't give a damn if I got 12 people up in here. I'm going to go live and I'm going to present you guys with facts and different things. But we don't do that over here. We don't do the conspiracy theory thing about people passing. We don't do that. We don't do that. Then here's the kicker part, and then I'm going for real. The kicker part is they took Malcolm Jamal Warner's mother's statement and literally broke it down line by line, talking about this is a lie. This ain't the truth. How do you know? How do you know? These people weird. These people are weird. These people are weird. Oh, wait a minute. Oh shoot. Oh, here it is. Okay, whatever. So anyway, y'all, I wanted to say that I hope you guys have a beautiful day. I'll be back later. We need to talk about K. Michelle Honey joining the Real Housewives of Atlanta, because it seems like it's actually true that she will be joining the Real Housewives of Atlanta's. Okay. But yeah, I'm gonna go do my walk and then come on back, get some work done, and I'll be live again later on. Remember when Naya Rivera died? Folks were trying their best to Yep. I mean, it's crazy. They sit over there saying, "Oh, child," they over there blaming what's the man name in the music industry? They didn't blame Bill Cosby. They didn't blame Clive Davis. And I'm not laughing at the situation. I'm just laughing at the fact that how cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs these people are. Oh, well, we know, what's his name did it. We know he did it. We know Hollywood did it. Girl. Yeah, Hollywood literally sent that man out there and unalived him from a current wave. Like, what? Girl, I can't with these people. I can't and I won't. I can't and I won't. It to me again, it's just ridiculous. Y'all really have to stop with these damn conspiracy theories. You got to. Conspiracy theories about somebody's death is dumb. It's just dumb. Folks die. We gonna all die. Okay? Folks die. We gonna all die. Child, anyway, I made that post. So if y'all see that post on my community wall, I made it because I had seen Messy Sweet Spot's video of, it was a most recent video that she put on her community wall talking about, go watch this video. I think we broke the case down. You ain't broke shit down. You broke nothing down. What are you talking about? I broke it down. So now you detective Sweet Spot. And then again, like I said, I would never get over that one man that done set up. Hey friend, I would never get over that one man that done set up talking about he went down there where back of Jamal Warner was, and he went and talking about the police told me this. They told me this. They said that they didn't even tell the family that. What? Yeah, I mean, you can't make this stuff up. All right, y'all. I will talk to y'all later. I gotta go. I'll probably be live around noonish, noon to one-ish. That's Central Time, not Eastern Time. Okay. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye, y'all.